Folks, we are back to wrap up our week here this Friday, May 16th, a casual Friday here. I got out of my polo. I'm into my t-shirt, actually with good reason, though. A couple reasons. Showing off my nice sunburnt face, but great to have all of us, though, back here otherwise. Inside our live trading room, Leda, Michael, Kathleen. I saw Gillis just before, Genevieve, Bill, Debbie, Anna, Kumar, all of our members live inside the trading room. And if you're on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, the works. There we go, popping up right in front of my face there on the lower left at Cyber Trading U. If you are new to our channel, new to our streams, stream each and every day, subscribe right down below at Cyber Trading U. But it's not just to show off my sunburnt face. I was outside by my pool earlier, getting some work done there. But otherwise, there's some good stocks out there moving, but the space sector here has been taken off. This is my NASA shirt. You probably can't see it. I got a tiny webcam there, but little NASA shirt. It's supposed to be the clouds. This is supposed to be some planets here that you could see. I want it to be topical, of course, for this meeting because, well, ASTS is moving right now. Lunar is moving right now. And the best one of them all was the space trade. So we've been on top of this one, namely since the morning. Made a great pop at the open. A few of our students were on top of it early. I went to do an errand even before my pool session. So as I'm like in Publix, actually, believe it or not, I start seeing this thing fly on up. I'm making a couple comments via remote. I know one of our students was asking about it, at least from earlier. I think it was Frederick. And right away, I wrote to him. I'm like, oh, wow, this is a crazy move. Let me figure my stuff out here while I'm at it. I'm literally in Publix doing this shit. So I figure out, hey, this has a pretty good area right around $5.70. That's what I wrote to Frederick K just earlier. Just flash this for all of us inside the live trading room. And in fact, if you're on social media, this is just funny because, hey, you never know what could happen out there throughout the day. So 11:59 in the morning. That's where I was. Space has a good historical area around 570 to 580. It should be resistance first, but obviously that was not the case. It blew right over that level, right above it. So I was surprised when I came back and it was at 650. Damn, that's pretty impressive. Well, guess what? For all of us here inside our live trading room, we're going to be going over this in our classes on Monday next week with the phase 1 stock course again. But, resistance flipping into support. So just going back to my chat here for us, just all of our students see this each and every day. Myself, you have Fausto, 35 plus year pro himself there. I mean, the combination of us, have it probably 50 years together. So we know what we're looking for in these moves. So, seeing the flipping of that area into support, it needs to make an eventual higher high though. And that's where we've had a tough time here on this trade. It's been stuck. It ended up making that initial move, but it's been failing to make higher highs. I got out on this trade, or half my position at 616. I'm going to ride the second half out, see what we can work with. I have, the two other space-related trades, not just SPCE, but Lunar, ASTS. Rocket Lab also is great, too. I just decided to choose these others, at least. So let's take a look at them. Rocket Lab coming back down a little bit now. This was up a lot from yesterday. Ended up making a good move at the time here, so that's where I was mentioning those others. ASTS we're very familiar with, so we've done exceptionally well on this one, and Fausto specifically here too. So he nailed this move. It was going back, I think, even into July of last year. We called it out on the first pop, but to see it squeeze up and up, I think he ended up getting in on the swing around 17, maybe even around 15, but completely took off afterwards. We're just familiar with this stock. So once I saw space go up, right away I start, spinning the gears in my head. Like, all right, what are these other trades doing? So ASTS, Lunar here, moseying around a little bit. It's up 4% nearly. It's tradable in it, obviously. But the one that I like the most, the one that's the best mover for us here this afternoon still is space. If it ends up diving back down here, I have my stop set at. So I'm going to put this on our watch list to begin easily the space trade. Take this thing out here first. Sorry. All right, and then the others we'll come back to just at the end. If they're all looking good still, we'll come back to them. But what we'll do is just jump right from top to bottom here anyway. This is number 2. So, INZY, we talked about this earlier. It's a buyout. Buyouts don't move. So done with that. TSSI was a great trade, at least from earlier today. Ended up making a nice, set of higher lows throughout the morning, pushed up to resistance that we had. It was actually off of 590 and then 1590 and then $16. Lower highs now. So I think this is done for the time being. This is making more of an afternoon push. What's this here? SYTA. I'm sure Rich called this out earlier as I was poolside. Not trying to rub it in Rich too much. He's got Memorial Day weekend on ahead too, so it's got to be outside, nice outside the Northeast soon enough. But SYTA, nice little pop above this high from late last week. Was it around like $2, 197? Yeah, $2. Okay. I mean, it's been holding over pretty well as support. Even if it were to dip down one more time here, wouldn't surprise me. Hopefully it keeps with higher lows, but it wouldn't shock me if it has one more dip down to that 2 level. I'll put it on our list. This is another space stock, Seattle Mobile. We're not going to check. Lazy Friday, folks. It's tradable. It's worth a look here for the time being. Caps, CAPS. This thing had, I guess, a huge pop and drop back earlier in pre-market. I'm not trying to wait to see the stock wake up or not. So again, there's others. Now, aside from space, right? We did pretty well on a few other trades here. I'll get back to kids, actually. Didn't even mean to click on that just yet. But quantum, QUBT, I was going to get to here. This is up the most out of all of the quantum trades today. Obviously, we've done very well so far in QBTS from the last 2.5, 3 days now at this point. Rigetti, RGTI was more from earlier in the week. Let me even show that just so you can see a better chart. Got to load more data. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. There we go. There's our pop back on Wednesday this week on this stock, Rigetti. So it's just to say, hey, if it's at least near the highs, that's something I'd rather focus on for the afternoon. So QUBT, I'm going to actually put this on the top of our watch list right now. This looks exceptional. See if there's more of a squeeze on this. The QBTS, I'm going to add to our watch list as well, because if you've been here, then you should know we've been commenting on this quite a bit. This has the best daily chart of them all. The QBTS has the best long-term, the best daily chart out of the quantum trades. Just take a look. It's apples to oranges here, right? Rigetti is not nearly as close to those highs back from the end of last year. QUBT is doing great today, so it's having to stay in the sun. There could be more to this as well with a gap fill. I'm sure Rigetti will do so over time, but what was it? Just the QBTS. That's been the best long-term chart of them all. All right, back to kids. Kerry, Chuck, a few of us here that have done well on this one in the past year recently. Crazy daily chart. What the hell? No, but seriously, ended up making a big pop back for us back in early May and ended up fading back down a bit. So now at this point, if it was closer to the highs, perhaps, but just pass on it now. BTM, Bitcoin Depot. I think this is the Bitcoin ATM stock that Fausto and I were talking about the other day. So, hey, this is trying to prove itself to us here. I'll add it. Good order book, tight spread. I don't think that'll open up too bad, if anything. You got resistance ahead at $3 on this trade, but even at 290, you have about 15,000 as well to complement it. So, interesting trade, BTM. Playboy, as in, yes, Playboy. Ended up making a big squeeze up earlier today. It seems like it's lower volume now, though. Seems like kind of a spotty chart. So I know it's at the high here, but probably focus on something better. EVLV, maybe. Just do a quick lightning round here to wrap up the gainer side. Just kind of skim through all the low volume stuff, trim the fat. CRWV is going to be thin on the order book, but an IPO that has had great success pretty much from the jump, pulled back at first, but then took off here. So that's an interesting one. If you're in that long term or in that from earlier, you're killing it. APLD, instantly going to put this back on our list. AI stock, this one is. And NVIDIA had a stake in them a little while back. I think they sold off, and that's why they got absolutely crushed like a bug here, I think, after. But hey, trying to push back up again now. It's tradable. I expect resistance on this at $7. I thought that there was also some right around 690 as well, so maybe it's starting to break over that to begin. But $7, about 95,000 shares sitting there. Listen, there is so much moving with how this market is holding right now, and even from the beginning of this week to be where we're at now without dumping off brutally, it's impressive. There's a lot of stocks near or at the highs. So anything that looks good, folks, if you're inside our live trading room, let me know. That's how we work together as a team. But I got to go pretty quick here, just see what else is out there for the time being. This one's not terrible, a little slow. Laser's going up pretty nicely, at least. LAZR, it's a gap fill already. Pretty much it filled most of that gap from the other day. Not as confident on it going much further than that, at least just yet. So I'd rather wait than caught myself there. Serve, robotic stocks. So you have Serve, You have RR, pirate stock as well. KULR, I think, is another robotic company, if I'm not mistaken. I thought there was another one, though. Maybe they rebranded KULR. I thought that was like Nautilus. All right. Never mind then. So going back to serve, this is at least near the highs. I like this trade, if anything, here. What else? Wolf, Bitcoin mining stocks having their day in the sun as well. So you got Hut, Wolf, Iron, Mara, Riot, all of those from earlier. They're just more flat now. You know our deal with the Bitcoin mining stocks in the afternoon. They normally don't push. NVAX, though, looking pretty nice. All right, back to our watch list here. NVAX is pretty good for right now. Still still lower highs, I'm sorry, on the long-term chart. This thing's been dropping off quite a bit since mid last year. So I'm not calling this a good swing trade opportunity yet. It definitely doesn't have as good of a chart as, those others that we've been talking about, but nice day trade. Nice day trade there. All right, number 50 is up 7.5%, guys. So again, that's where I say if there's anything else looking good, you let me know. I'll just skim through this here rather fast to go to the loser side next. And Hims we'll take a look at. How's Hims doing today, Bill? It's up nearly 6%. Great long-term graph still. It's as strong as it can, as you could ask for it to be at this point, aside from it breaking all-time highs right now, but doing good long-term. All right, we'll hop over to the loser side here, see what else is out there, at least on the way down. Maybe a short, maybe a dead cat bounce, perhaps. Maybe nothing. Maybe not much here from this loser side. I mean, the whole market's been up today, obviously, but I figure maybe there might be one or two shorts or something down percentage-wise. Kava from earlier today, good short early, making lower highs now. If it was closer to the lows, I'd probably add it to our list. But right now, that's all right. All right, folks. So, hey, if there's anything else looking good up, down, left, right, more than 5%, you let me know. Great to have you here, Leda, not just inside our live trading room, but she's simulcast on YouTube. There we go. What else we got here, folks? Michael, Margaret, Kathleen, Bill, Pro pop up here so we could at least all see that. There's the kids trade. So maybe I do put kids back on our list if that's still pushing up here at this point. GRYP, take a look there. Nothing else that I'm too familiar with. Yeah, actually, this has been doing great. I didn't realize the price that this is at now. I thought it was still like a ways away from yesterday's highs. It actually broke above that, or it's like there right now. All right, cool. We'll add grip. This is a Bitcoin mining stock. I just said we're not going to trade the Bitcoin mining stocks. This is a little different because this has to do with Eric Trump's company. They ended up merging with this company here over the last week. So, you could say that there is a bit of extra hype or news behind it for that reason. So I had grip. And then what was the other one that we had? Losing track of my shit now. Kids. KIDZ. Yeah, nice little pop back up here. Still needs to at least break above this high in this area. $4, flip that area into support, but it'll go on our list now. All right, cool. So, folks, hey, heading into the afternoon, you'll be on with me here heading into the close. I'll be on at 3:05 here. And then, hey, you see something, say something. But let's just start with our watch list, go the first 10, 15, 20 minutes with this. And then if there's anything else popping, halting, going nuts out there, myself and Rich will call it out. Maybe even Fausto's still here. He might be on that UNH trade. So, yeah, actually, one more addition to our list. Might get fired otherwise. No, UNH, though. We got to add UNH to our watch list. Forgot about that, but Fausto, is on top of that as a dead cat bounce gap fill opportunity now, as you can see on the daily chart. But there we go, UNH. All right, folks. So hey, if you're not joining us inside our live trading room, I suggest that you do. Hey, go right down to the link scrolling down on the bottom below in blue, ctu.co/trial. That is the link. Otherwise, we look forward to having you there. But otherwise, if not, have a great weekend. If you're inside our live trading room, same as well. But you'll hear from me in just about 15, 20 minutes. We'll talk to you then, folks. Take care.